This is Nordkirchen by FreckDax93. 309.83 megabytes to download. The description says the Nordkirchen is an idyllic map built from original terrain. The area reflects the agricultural region of Nordkirchen, south of Dortmund. It is not a one-to-one replica but close to the original area. There's some key data there. Standard area for building and cultivation, 63 fields, 7 meadows, pastures, 8 forest areas, 9 places to buy products and 13 places to sell, 4 productions, a fixed BGA, 50 collectibles. Looks like stubble destruction on most of the crops, and there is 9 additional crops: rye, triticale, spelt, green rye, vetch rye, field grass, silage, maize, humus active and mustard. 84 soil textures and 77 trees are available for designing. So let's go and check it out. And here we are. This is where you start off in all 3 modes, and this is the map, people. There's not a lot going on here in terms of productions and things like that, but there's enough to obviously get you going. You can add more things as you wish to. So we actually start off here. We're down by the shop, the store, whatever you want to call it. I'm in new farmer mode. In new farmer mode, we start off with all this up here. If I cross to farmland, so we get the main sort of starting farm there, and then these 3 fields, they are separate plots. So the farm area plot is 366,000. This field's 87 grand. 402,000 for that, 237. Field prices are going to be varied, obviously, because there's some huge ones, 791, and then we do have some small ones. Which is the smallest one? I think that might have been actually 60,000, just over. Forestry areas, some big ones like that, 2.1 million, but you're going to make some good money there. 1 million for that, so it is going to cost you here and there. I've added in 1 million, or started with 1 million, because there's a couple of plots we need to buy for things to show up. The BGA's down here. It is showing you can buy the land that's around the BGA, but it doesn't mean you own the BGA, so you will still need to buy it. It is about 1.5 million as well, so it's one of those guys, so we will sort that out. I might as well buy these plots while we're here. So 73, if we buy that for 199,200, it then throws up a farmhouse, a workshop trigger, and a silo, and then that's basically another sort of farm. We're going to check them out as we go around. Plot 74, which is just down here, also takes in this plot of land there, and you'll see why in a second. 106 grand, just over, and that brings up all that. So we've got the farmhouse up on this plot, and then down here these look like sort of, well, they are the sheds that you can build, but they are already built for us. So the farm garage 2, farm garage 1, and there's also a silo on here. We've got a pigsty, a chicken coop, and I think a fuel tank there, but obviously, like I said, we will check those out as we go. But there we are. I think that's all I need to show you there. If I stay in this menu and scoot up, I'll talk about the added in crops in a moment. I'll come back to prices. We'll just go across into stats, I think, first, and then we'll do slot counts and things like that as we go, and I'll come back to the crops. So there is 50 collectibles, as it says. There they are, down bottom right hand side of the screen. I haven't found any yet, so I'm not quite sure what they are. Productions, we only own 1, and that is the medium greenhouse we've got, and there is only 4 on the map, as it says. We've got BGA, a cement factory, a dairy, and a sawmill. Contracts are going to be available, which is cool. Animals, now we did start off with just this cow barn. That's at the main starting farm, but because I bought that plot down the bottom, it gave us the chicken and pig pasture, or pigsty, whatever you want to call it. Crop calendar is there. If I scroll down, you will see the custom or added in crops. We've got field grass, green rye, humus active. I wasn't quite sure what that was, so I googled it. I think it's looking like it's some form of fertilizer, like a cover crop. So if you grow that, you can do it a bit like the oilseed radish. Got meadow as well, which has been added in. Now that technically is 10 crops there, so I'm not sure what's going on. There is a couple of iffy things on this map which I will talk about as we go round, and sort of when I feel like I need to mention them. But I think it's going to need a bit of an update, if I'm honest. But there's your crop calendar for all those extra crops as well, and then we're back to the map like so. I think that's all I need to show you there. We'll go through slot counts of vehicles, etc. like that. We'll do that now, I think. So if I scroll down, go to vehicles, I know I could have done it from the prices menu, but I'm doing it this way. We've got a couple of Agco weights, a 1500 and a 650 kilogram. We've got a cultivator, we've got a fertilizer spreader, a pallet forks, a bucket, class Arian truck, the class Evian harvester, front loader, we've got header for your harvester, farm tech trailer, I'm going to come back to that, Fendt tractor, a Flegel trailer, the seeder or Great Plains seeder, again I will come back to that, a feed mixer for making TMR, a header trailer, a loading wagon, a slurry tank, and I think that's it. Now if I scroll back up to, in fact we could just go to the Flegel trailer. Now if you look at the icons going across the bottom of the screen, not all of those added in custom crops are showing there. I would expect you to be able to put in more than what is being shown there, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. And same with obviously that trailer. If we go up to the, where's the, there it is there, seeder, you can plant most of the things with the seeder. I think the only thing you need a planter for is going to be your corn silage, or whatever it was it corn silage or maize silage they're calling it. So all the other ones you can put in with a seeder. And if I go back into this menu and go down to planters, you can see right at the bottom of the screen, right hand side, there's like a greeny colour corn symbol. That is your maize silage, corn silage, if you want to call it that. So you're going to need a planter to put that in, so not too bad. The slot count in new farmer mode is 1493. I sold off all that equipment I've just showed you, and it will drop down to 1412. Potential to get that down even further, because you can sell off pretty much everything, I think, at the, certainly the main starting farm. Didn't actually test the other two farms, but I would imagine you can sell off everything there as well. I'll talk about some bits of decoration, etc. when we get up at the main farm. But that's that. If you come on in here and farm manager and start from scratch, you don't get anything apart from a chainsaw. I forgot to mention you do get a chainsaw in all three modes. I will show you that in a moment. Slot count in farm manager start from scratch is 1411, but obviously you don't get no land, no equipment apart from a chainsaw. And if I go to there and I push across to hand tools, there it is, still like so. And again, I sold that off as well to get the slot count down. But I think that's it. Now if we do mods quick, we'll get cracking round. It shouldn't take us too long because there's not a huge amount. I am going to, I'll go, yeah, we'll just stay here I think, because I want to show you something. The only thing I found modded in is if we go down to here and decoration, all the way down to the bottom, we've got this sign. As you can see, it says Nordkirchen mod Hein Wisselscheider. It's basically a sign. If I place it down, I know we don't own the land. Let's get out into the sunlight. Hopefully you can just about see that. I can't go in any further, but we can customize that. So for me, if I click in R3, it brings up that menu top left, and we can change what they mean. Supermarket, I can make that out. Farm 1, farm 2. So it's a sign and you can customize it. Cafe, which is pretty cool. But as far as I can tell, most things are signposted up in this map anyway. But that's that. Now if I go to this area and painting, there is a ridiculous amount of textures in here. It is really nice that they've added in all this. Look at it. Concretes, dirts, forest grounds, loads of it. Grass, flagstones, gravels, rock, animal muds. Look at all that you can play with. Awesome. Trees as well, like it says in the description. Look at all these trees. There is a ton of them. Don't normally get that many on maps. And then if I also go to plants, a couple of these, oh dear, I've gone the wrong way. A couple of these do say Nordkirchen mod, different types of plants, etc. But there's tons of bushes, plants, absolutely loads in there. So pretty nice that they've done that. Right, I think that is it, guys. That is all we need to do. So we are here at the store. We do have a little sort of picture of the map, if you wanted to look at it like that. I'll run round this bit and I think we'll lease a pickup. Just behind us we have the shop sort of menu icon, etc. And then over here we have the workshop icon menu. Now I did test this. You have to be in here to be able to use that icon. So the doors are all open. They're pretty wide. You should be able to get most things in there. This is also your reset point just down here roughly. So if you buy, lease or reset anything, it's going to appear there. Huge area though. If we run over to this side, we have water stood here. And we've also got this zone. Now it is showing on the map like it's another sort of shop area. It says vehicle shop. But basically this is like your warehouse. So you can buy pallets of things here. So planks, all sorts of things like that. If you want to use them in other productions, you don't want to produce them, which is pretty cool. It's going to work out more expensive for you to do that. But that is an option there for you. Obviously they will spawn in this zone just here, which is pretty cool. Like the way they've done that. Right, let's grab ourselves a pickup. Not too fast, we'll get a sort of modern looking one. And we will jump in that pickup and we'll head on out. Like I say, it shouldn't take us too long. I'm going to mention, oh, I tell you what I didn't mention. I said I was going to come back to the prices list, didn't I? So if we scroll down these prices list, price list even, the only things that are shown here that have been added in, all those custom crops, all we've got is rye, spelt and triticale. And if you look, there is nowhere to sell them. So all the other added in crops, custom crops, I don't know what you're supposed to do with them. But that is all there is, rye, spelt and triticale. Now I did also test the silo that is up at the main farm, just up here, just there, and to see whether we could put in those custom crops and take them out, etc. And it is only showing those three as well. So something's not right there. It's not being added in. And if we do go across to the crop types, I think the only ones that are appearing on the map, you've got all these, look. The only ones that are appearing for me earlier is the rye, spelt and triticale. There's one field of triticale, there's a couple of spelt there. But none of these new ones are showing up at all, which is interesting. So yeah, I think it needs an update just for that. Anyway, we do have the animal dealer just across the way. There's Katie, there's your dialogue box for your animal dealers, buying your animals obviously. Sell point, there is a couple up here. It's all classed as the animal dealer, but there's separate areas, so you've got like looking like bell sell points, etc. there. This icon to our right, that is water. There's another one on the map which we'll come to later. It's free water, but you can fill up there from water, but there is plenty of rivers and there's a few ponds scattered around the map, so I think it'd be good to go anyway wherever you go. Manure, we have a buy and sell point here, so you can buy and sell manure there. And likewise with our slurry down the bottom, you can buy and sell slurry there if you wish to. like so. But there definitely is a few things that don't quite add up on the map. Apart from that, it's not a bad map. It's really nice and bright. It's very colourful with all these different colours, flowers, etc., and weeds, whatever they're meant to be. One thing I'm not that keen on is when we get out to sort of main road out here. Whoa, what is that? I didn't think there was any collisions on that. I think that was that bush. I will do a map tour one day without any crashes, I promise. But there is people walking around, as you can see, and there is traffic. Now, with the traffic, I don't think this road is quite wide enough. They seem to be very close to each other, and some of the vehicles look like they're driving through some bushes in places. But you've got this big lorry, look, he's over the line. Typical lorry driver. Get some comments for that probably now. But anyway, we are heading up to our starting farm. This is one of our fields, a very decent sized field. But yeah, the lighting is really cool. Look at it. It's pretty good. I think it just needs an update for a few things. It is always nice to have in extra sort of crops, custom crops, because it gives you just that little bit something different, doesn't it? So I'm hoping that will get sorted out. But now we are into our main sort of starting farm. I'll jump out and do a little bit on foot. So we've got the sheds here, look, a few things in. And like I say, up at this farm, it looks like you can sell everything. These floodlights, the stone walls, all these gates, you can click on the sheds, obviously. Decoration like this, even though that's just one little bit there, you can highlight it and sell it. Because if you come over to here, the farmhouse, if we were to sell that, these chairs and this bench, they're all going to be floating, but you can click on them individually, look, and sell them. So nice touch there. I like maps and map makers that do that. Got a petrol tank there which is empty, but we can fill it up to 5,000 litres. We do have shed here with these doors, which are cool. Got a few bits of machinery in there. We'll just jump back in the pickup and we'll head down here. We do have a couple of decorative sheds, which again we can sell if we wish to. There's our greenhouse for growing a few bits and bobs. We do have a bunker silo because we do have a cow barn, and that cow barn is just here. We do have a dialogue box, whole 35 cows. They will obviously appear out in the pasture. And then your feed and straw trigger is just through here. Your feed mixer's ready and waiting. It is empty though. And then we do have where's that gone? Oh, that's interesting. Did I not spot that earlier? Where's the slurry collection point then? I've not used this cow barn. It is a base game one, I believe, but I've not used it. That's interesting. I was going to mention the manure, because obviously there's no manure pit down. You need to place one, but I think if you got rid of that shed you might be able to put one there. But there doesn't seem to be any manure slurry collection point. Okay, well, there we go. That's that thing. There's our silo. Like I say, it is just a standard crop type, but it will take those three things that I mentioned earlier. Hopefully it will get updated and we can put other things in there. I'm not quite sure. If we go around this way, we've got a lovely farmhouse here with lots of decoration on. A little sort of garage there for storing things. I think it's the house from Hutam Pantai, going by the little lanterns up there. Sleep trigger and a wardrobe function around this side. That is it. That is our farm, people. What certainly is in new farmer mode. But I like the fact that you can sell off everything, because you could buy that plot of land or start there and clear it out and design your own farm if you wish to. It's up to you. We will head on out and go down, and we have the first of our productions just in here, and this is the dairy. So your products will appear there in that zone. You can buy and manage the production just there on the doorstep, and then your unloading, tipping in, etc. is just there, that zone there. Ooh. The traffic is quite frequent, shall I say. It seems to be, now I've said that, there's nothing coming. It seems to be a little bit relentless at times. There seems to be quite a lot of it coming at you. Especially when they're trying to overtake like that. Right, just in this turning we do have a couple of sell points. I have this one first in front of us. This is a supermarket. Nicely done. The sell point is going to be around the back. Pallets and tipping in by the look of it. And then just across from there we have the cafe. Again, nicely done area. And your sell point for that is around the back. Easily accessible, driving round both of them if you've got tractor, trailer, etc. But as you can see, signposts everywhere, so I'm not sure you'll want to put any more signs down, but you have them if you wish to. Where are we off to next? I've forgotten where we're going now. Oh yeah, we're going this way. So yeah, watch this. He's almost driving through the bush. There is a bit of a worse bit somewhere. He actually goes through the bush. Right, left into the sawmill. There is Noah. He's always lingering around the sawmill. Products are going to appear there. You can buy and manage the sawmill just there. Sell your wood in there like so. I'm not quite sure about wood chips. I haven't tested it, but there is a pile there. Hoping you're going to be able to get some out there. And then on our right hand side we do have a sell points for selling things. So it looks like you can sell things that you produce, like barrels and whatnot. You can't sell wood there though. The only place to sell wood is there behind us at the sawmill, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping that was going to be another separate sell point for selling wood. So if you own the sawmill, you can't sell it anywhere else, but then you know you're going to want it for your production anyway, aren't you? Moving on down from there, this is a little bit odd. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. We do have the gas station, fuel station, obviously for filling up, but as you can see there is a tipping in icon there, because down here we can sell a few things as well, like diesel, diesel exhaust fluid, also methane and electric. I don't know what you're supposed to do with the electric, how you're supposed to transport that, but you can sell electric there. It is showing in the prices list. If I just show you a few things, so if we go to diesel for example, it's showing there obviously we can buy diesel from there after filling up our machinery, but we of course also sell it, and likewise with the diesel exhaust fluid. So you could potentially buy some and then sell it straight away to make a bit of a profit. So it is a bit odd. Electric charge, as you can see, you can sell it at the gas station. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that, but there is an electric charging point just there. We're going to head on out. Quite a big forestry area. Around there. We'll carry on down to the bottom of the map. A few things going on there. this is going to be, I think I need to go up there, don't I? Yeah, one of the other farms we can buy. So nice big area. Again, you can sell off everything if you wanted to get rid of it and start again. Got a silo there, and these are the storage garages, the farm garages that I talked about. They've already been built for us. Doors are open, but we can, he says, close them like so. Do have another fuel tank just there. Another garage which has been nicely done. Over here's our chicken coop. Eggs gonna spawn there. Feed is just round through here, and then chickens that will hold 20. Not a huge amount. They're going to be roaming around everywhere like so. A little bit of sort of shed space in here, but you're not really going to get anything in there, are you? They're tiny little doors. So again, you can customize this if you wish to. And then round here to the pigsty, we've got a bit more better shed space there. We can use that. And then the actual pigsty on the end. This will hold 25 pigs. Feed and straw there, I believe. There is a slurry collection point here. Again, no manure heap, so you'll have to place one down, but there's quite a lot of room here, and they're going to appear out there, the little piggy wiggies. Back out of there, and then we have to go back up the way we came from, because it's the only way in and out. And take that left hand fork by the fuel station. Oh no, we don't. We're going to the BGA first, aren't we? We are going to the BGA, which is this. No, that's someone's field. This turning. Oh my goodness. It's all gone wrong. This turning. Here we go. We're back on track. I did my prep for this a few hours ago, and I've already forgotten my way round. But here we go. Right, into the BGA. So you've got two way stations, right and left, so it's up to you which way you come in and out. So you can weigh yourself before you go in, weigh yourself coming out, whatever you want to do. Some really big bunker silos there, sort of in and out points there. We've got slurry here. I think this might just be for storage, you know. I can't see that you can buy slurry there. And again for the manure, just there, like so. Some shed space here and there, and there's 3 more big bunker silos over there. If I jump out and jump down into here, like I say, we can buy it, but it's 1.5 million. It is looking like just a standard BGA. It doesn't do anything else. I did buy it earlier. So back out of there, we'll go across this way station, then back out. Right, we are now heading up to the gas station. And we've got another farm to visit, one of the ones that you can buy. So yeah, you can see the little rivers here and there, so I think you'll be able to fill up from there if you wanted to, but it's nice to have other options as well on the map. So past the gas station, and then we need to swing a right just here. It says Hof 2. I'm guessing Hof means farm in German. What a way station. You don't get any fields though with those two farms, the one we just visited earlier and this one, but there is plenty around it obviously. Got a farmhouse there, sleep trigger and wardrobe function. We've got another silo, little sort of garage just there, and then we've got these sheds round this side, again all sellable, even the decorative barrels, and we've got a workshop trigger just there as well, which is cool. So, out of here. There's only a couple of things left to visit, guys, and then we are done. You don't seem to get any traffic coming along these tracks, so it's just that main sort of road that runs through the sort of, not quite the middle of the map, but the one we was on earlier. That may be why it's a little bit busy, because that is the only road that they come on. So obviously there's the farm there we've just been to. Oh, I'm going to stop here because this is quite amusing. There's some funny little things here and there on this map as well, which I did spot these. It looks like someone a little bit eccentric or something lives here. It's just, look, they got that. It's just a lot of junk in and around, and also someone is having a very good time trying to drive that bath by the look of it. Bit random, isn't it? Very random area, but quite interesting what they've done. Anyway, moving on. If we follow this down a bit further, we will come to the cement factory. If I can stay out of the bushes. So it looks like your tipping area just there, unloading. And then just in here is the cement factory. So your pallets will spawn there, and then you can manage the production just over there. Like so, plenty of room to turn around and maneuver as well, which is nice. Back out of there, and then we need to swing right. And I quite like this area as well, what they've done here. This is the multi-market we are heading to, and you can buy and sell here various things, which is pretty cool. Obviously you need to check your prices list, but it looks like bells there we can sell. I think that might be, is that wood chips? Possibly. Again, we can buy and sell manure, we can buy and sell slurry, like so. We do have up the ramp here a sell point, looks like for pallets and grains possibly. And if I whiz back down, this one here just underneath, that is shown as being able to get water from there as well, again free. So that, I think, people, is it. Did buy the whole of the map, nothing else showed up apart from the two farms, and obviously you can buy the BGA as well. Interestingly enough though, when you do buy the BGA, this bit doesn't glow up as you own it, but like I say, you can buy the land. But I think that's it, people. That is Nordkirchen by Dax 93. Apologies if I said any of that wrong, but I've tried my best. So let me know your thoughts, but I do think it's going to need a bit of an update. It's a bit of a shame, but there we go. But I hope you have enjoyed the map tour, guys. If you have, please hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And don't forget to smash the bell so you don't miss any future videos I post. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.